G'day, welcome to the show. Soul Covers here. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Looking back, since we last recorded, we recorded covering both Game 3s. We're covering both Game 4s in the NBA Conference Finals today. We've got one bet locked in as of right now. This number is still available, so you're going to want to tune in to see where my action is there. Looking back, we only had one bet in the Game 3s of the Conference Finals. I thought they were very sharp lines. They were spots that I didn't really want either side. We ended up picking up an under 218 in the Wolves and Thunder Game 3. Now, the Wolves end up scoring 140 points that game, so that total just goes way over. We finished ahead of the market there. That market closed consensus 217, 216 and a half. So is what it is. And then we had 4 WNBA bets on where we split them all, lose the juice. We are now 4-4 with WNBA bets. So just given the books our juice money, we do have one WNBA play today as well that is already ahead of the market. Hopefully that's the one that'll push us up to 5-4 and we can start getting some winners. We're about 5 games into the WNBA season. Once the NBA finals are over, I'll get my WNBA projections up on screen. We can have a look at them. We'll talk about the market. Obviously, my knowledge of the players and teams is a little bit limited, but that's only a little piece of the puzzle. As long as you know how to read the market and you can at least originate some sort of line, start seeing where the market starts to creep, that's more than half the battle. So we had the Sparks and the over in the Sparks hosting the Sky. This Chicago Sky team, they've got a -30 net rating. Angel Reese getting a lot of hate on Twitter. Like, this Chicago Sky team is looking like a team you want to fade early and often. So far, they just have not played well this season. And then we had the Las Vegas Aces -4 in Seattle. That line closed at -5.5, -6. Seattle win that game outright, and the total also goes over. So 2 and 3, we lose our big NBA play, then we split our WNBA plays. Let's have a look at Game 4s. Game 4s. First, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves going into hosting the Thunder. We had this market opened a bit all over the place. There were some 2.5s, there were some 4s at the rec books. Now it's a consensus 3. That's where it seems to be across the market. My number's right there with it. I got OKC -3.5 in this game. Looking at the spot where we've got a road favorite, they are playing Game 4. They've won 2 games. Line is less than a possession. This is a spot where you do want to take the road favorite. Road favorites in this spot are 28 and 15 against the spread. Let's just have a look at if we isolate this to not include round 1. We'll see if that makes any difference. But in terms of this spot right here, I think you can only look to back the Thunder. Like, you see a team get smacked by 40. Like, you want to back a good team, great team coming off a loss, especially a loss like that. So I think you can only look to back the Thunder or just sit this one out. Me right now, I've not placed a bet on the Thunder. There just isn't much of a market in this side either way. So we'll see what the late market tells us. Haven't got anything on the Thunder. And if we isolate this trend to after round 1, the road favorite trying to go up 3-1, less than a possession, 8 and 8 against the spread. So a lot of these covers are coming in round 1 for these road favorites trying to get that 3-1 lead. Wow, 20 and 7 in round 1. Jesus. So, like I said, Thunder or nothing in this spot. Looking at the total, we saw it open at 218. We see 219 here at Bet365. My number's at 216.5. In terms of the market, we've seen it, it opened around 218, got as low as 217.5, now back at 218. Haven't got much for you in terms of the total. Looking at that spot, it's about 50-50, so nothing really here in terms of trends favoring the over or under. This is one that I would definitely be sitting out. Let's have a look at the other game 4, where we've got the Pacers and the Knicks. The Pacers, damn, they were this close to going up 3-0 and just hashing our series bets, having our title exacta, OKC over Pacers to be in a great position. Let's have a look at the Pacers and Knicks. Spread opened at 2.5. There were moments where it got to 3. There were moments where it got to 2. Now seems to be a very consensus 2.5. If you've been watching our conference finals episodes, you know what side I'm on this game. I'm on the Indiana Pacers minus 2.5. Got that down for 4 units. I didn't want to take them in game 3. I sat game 3 out on the side, and I'm glad I did, but I have to take this Pacers team. I've got this Pacers minus 5. I have to take it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I do not think this spread goes back to 2. If anything, I reckon it goes up to 3. Looking at the spot where we've got a home favorite trying to go up 3-1. Spread is less than a possession. Not great, 13 and 17. So this might be a spot where you want to back the Knicks, but let's just see what happens after round 1. After round 1, 6 and 8. So in terms of trends, not a strong situational spot for the Pacers, but just anecdotally speaking, you see a team giving up a 20-point lead. Yes, the Celtics did that twice last round, but I'm not going to bank on that happening again. Look for the Pacers to come out strong and wrap up this win, get that 3-1 lead. I like them at 2.5. Go grab it now. I reckon this gets to 3. Looking at the total, where it opened around 221.5, maybe 222.5. Now consensus, 221. Not much of a direction here. In terms of the trends, we don't really see anything either. It's about 50-50 in terms of the over or under. So I'm on the Pacers. I got to go with what my numbers say, what we've predicted from the series. I'm going to keep doubling down on this Pacers team. We backed him in game 1. We backed him in game 2. We sat out in game 3, and we're going back on them in game 4. They're the best team against the spread in the playoffs, going 9-4. Let's have a look at our best bets, where we've got 2 of them. So we have, as mentioned, we have the Pacers minus 2.5, and we also have a WNBA play. We are taking the Dallas Wings at the Connecticut Sun. We picked that up at 3.5. 3.5 is no longer available. The best available line is now 4.5. Look, in terms of the projections I've got based on 5 WNBA games, I've got this at Dallas minus 8, but obviously I'm not even looking at those when I'm making these bets. I'm just looking at the market, and I saw that most of the market was at 4 and had just moved to 4, so I just picked up a 3.5. Personally, wouldn't bet that now at 4.5. You're betting into a flat market where you're going to lose more often than you're going to win. So Pacers minus 2.5. If you picked up the Dallas Wings minus 3.5, that's looking like a great ticket right now. Until next time, let's get the books sold to you.